Hey GoTots, it's Bex here and welcome back to another session on Faith Heroes. I've really enjoyed learning about the different ways all the different people in the Bible have been standing on their faith in our Heavenly Father and seeing miracles happen. And just between you and me, I really miss playing in that fort. So let's recap on who we've learned about so far. First, we had David, who defeated Goliath, even though David was so much smaller than him. And next we had Daniel, who survived a lion's den, and we had Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, who survived a fiery furnace. And this happened because they all refused to disobey God and worship someone else. Next we had Noah, who saved his family and all those animals from the flood. We learned about Esther and Rahab, who risked their lives to protect God's people. And lastly, we learned about Mary, who trusted a message she received from God even though it seemed impossible. This week we're learning about another woman in the Bible whose actions started off miraculous events. Her name isn't the most famous in the Bible, but her actions in trusting God and placing her child's life in His hands not only saved her baby, but delivered her people from lives of slavery and oppression. This then paved the way for the Israelites to move into God's promise for His people. Her name was Jochebed.
The Hebrews had been living in Egypt for a while now, so long that the Pharaoh had changed and this new Pharaoh didn't care about how Joseph had saved Egypt. He saw the Hebrews as a threat, so made them slaves and forced them into hard labour, hoping this would knock them down. Instead, the Hebrews continued to grow strong. Pharaoh despised the Hebrews even more and ordered something terrible. He decreed that every Hebrew boy born must be thrown into the river Nile. During this time, Jochebed, a Hebrew woman, became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She loved him and didn't want him to be harmed, so she did her best to hide him. She managed to hide him for 3 months, but by this time it was becoming impossible to keep him hidden anymore. Jochebed got a basket and placed her baby in it. She then took him to the river Nile and placed him among the reeds. Jochebed asked God to keep her baby safe. The boy's sister stood at a distance and watched. Soon Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile with her servants, and as she passed the riverbank, she saw the basket and told her servant to bring it to her. To her surprise, there was a baby inside. She realized it must be one of the Hebrew babies, but she felt sorry for him and wanted to keep him as her own. The baby sister approached Pharaoh's daughter and offered to fetch a Hebrew woman to be a nanny for the child. "Yes, go," she answered. So his sister brought Jochebed to Pharaoh's daughter, who instructed Jochebed to care for the child until he did not need a nanny anymore. This baby's name was Moses. God blessed Jochebed by not only saving her child, but by giving her the chance to raise him. When he grew up, God used him to perform many miracles and deliver his people from Egypt. Jochebed did one of the hardest things a mother could ever have to do and gave up her son and trusted God would not only save him, but use him. When she may have thought her actions were only to care for her child, this act of faith then allowed God to use Moses to save not just one person, but bring deliverance and justice to an entire nation. So GoTots, don't ever look down on any action you do in faith or love and compassion, as only being small or just helping one person, as you never know how your actions can cause a knock-on effect, making a difference in so many more lives.
So since we learned about the miracle that started with Jochebed putting Moses in the river, I thought this week we can make a fun river scene. So all you're going to need is something a little bit sturdy, so some card or cardboard, some coloured paper. Now if you don't have any coloured paper, that's fine, you can use plain paper and colour it in, either using pens and pencils or paints or whatever you've got lying around. You'll need a pencil or a pen and a ruler to help you draw something that we're going to get to in a bit, and you can use some glue. A glue stick would probably be better, but if you don't have a glue stick, PVA glue would be fine, or sellotape. And of course you'll need some scissors, so you'll either need children's scissors or you'll need an adult to help you. and actually you'll probably need an adult to help you anyways. So first we're going to do the river. So you'll need to find some blue paper, or of course you can get some plain paper and colour it in. So I've got my river, and actually I'm going to do some drawing on it just to make it look a bit more like a river. So you can do some wavy lines to show that the river was moving. You can get a few different colours to do that. And you can always get some different coloured pens out and draw some fish in the river, or any other animals you want to. So I've got some fish. Some green fish. I'm also going to have some yellow fish. And you know, if you feel artistic, you can always draw a crocodile or something else in the river too. Okay, and so now, really simply, I have my river. So next up, we are going to draw some reeds coming out of the river. So this is where your firma card can come into play. So what you want to do is you want to fold it over a little bit, not in half. You want to fold it so you've just got a little bit that you can tuck underneath, so that it can sit upright like this. Your background. And now this is the time that we do our reeds. So you can either get some green paint out and do some handprints on here, having your reeds all sticking up, or you can get some green paper and you can draw around your hand. Now we have 2 hands. Now keep the rest of this paper, we're going to use it later. Okay, and now you can stick them onto your background. And then we go, we have some reeds. Now obviously you can do a lot more than just 2, and you can do it in different colour greens to make it have a bit more of a textured look. You could decorate it with some flowers and anything you can think of just to make it look more fun. Right, so I'm going to use some pens to add some more reeds in my background. And if you're doing this with a sibling, then you'll probably have different size hands, so you can have different size reeds in your background as well. Add some brown in there too. now I have my background. And when your background's all done, get some glue again. Put it along the bottom of your card. And it's time to stick it on to your river. I don't know what you think, but I think it's starting to look pretty cool. So now we're going to put this to the side to dry a little bit, and we are going to get the front done. So I'll just put it all over here so it's out of the way. I might put something behind it to help it dry right. And now I'm going to get my other piece of card, and very similarly I'm going to fold it over so the other bits to go underneath, but this time we don't want it to be as tall as the other side because otherwise we won't be able to see it. So we want to cut this bit down a little bit higher up than the fold we just made. And then just put this bit of card to the side because you might use it later. So, like if we put it like this, you can still see the back. So now we need to decorate it, but this time we need to decorate this side because that's the side that will be seen. And this is where this comes into handy. Because look, we've already got some funky looking spikes that we can cut out. And now we've got a pretty funky looking riverfront. And just like before, we can always draw some green lines to add some extra to the reeds. So now we have our river to put our Moses in. But what are we missing? That's right, we're missing Moses. Okay, so we need to make the basket to put Moses in. So I'm going to set this one aside. And we're going to get some brown paper out. Now I didn't have some good brown paper, but what I do have is a brown envelope, and that will work just fine. So for this bit, you're going to need a parent to help you because you're going to have to do some measuring. So you get your ruler, and get yourself a pen out. Okay, so for my basket, I got my ruler, and I'm drawing out a line. So this is 10 centimetres long. And then from that I'm going down 15 centimetres. And I'm doing a little mark at every 5 centimetres. And I'm doing that again from the other end. So I'm going 15 centimetres down and doing a mark every 5 centimetres. And then I'm connecting the ends, and if we've done this right, that should be 10 centimetres again. So you'll have a rectangle like this. And now at the 5 centimetre marks that you've drawn, you want to put our ruler, and you want to put it so it hangs out an extra 5 centimetres. So you want to have 5 centimetres on this side, it should be 10 across, and then 5 centimetres on the other side. So we're going to draw that line. And you're going to do that again down here. So it should be 5 centimetres on this side, 10 centimetres in the middle, and 5 on this side. And then you want to connect the ends, and they should be 5 centimetres. So now you've got a shape like this, and so that it can stick nicely together, we need to draw some tabs. So on the 2 smaller boxes on the end, you want to do some lines in. Make sure they're not too small, otherwise it'll be more fiddly. So some nice big lines in, and then connect them together. Nice big lines in, connect them together. Big lines in, connect them together, and big lines in. So you should end up with a shape that looks something like this. Alright, and once you've got it cut out, it should look something like this. And now it's time to fold it. So it could help to get the ruler, put it along the line, then fold it over. Make sure you press it down. You want to fold the tabs over too. And do it on the other side. And both of the ends. Okay, now it's up to you. If you want to, you can turn it over and you can draw the basket pattern on it. So you can get some brown. You could do some lines across. And this way. You can make it hatching. Let's get another brown. You can go up this way. You can do your basket however you would like. And once you're done decorating it, now it's time to glue it. So you just want to put glue very carefully on this side of the tabs. So get it on both tabs. And then fold it up, fold the paper next to it up and stick them together. Okay, and do the same on the other side. Just put glue on the tabs. And then fold it in. And there you have it, you have a little basket for baby Moses. Now if you want to, you could try making a lid. So again, you'd need to make sure it's long enough, but it wouldn't need to be quite as high on the side, because you just want it to fit nicely on top. But that's up to you. So now you have your basket to go in your river. Now this next part is optional. If you have one, you could put a little baby doll in there to be Moses, or if you don't have one, you can always draw a baby to put in there to be your Moses. So as I don't have a doll, I'm just drawing a baby on a piece of card that I've cut out. So we got his face. Now we're gonna make him look like he is asleep. So now we have our little baby Moses. So that's it, you've got your scene. So you can put Moses in the basket and you can make Moses. You can make Moses go along the river to the safety of the palace. We've loved receiving so many messages from you guys. We've had pictures of crafts, we've had songs, and we've just had some lovely pictures showing you guys are doing well. If you'd like to share anything with us, you can send a picture or a video to the email address below, so long as you've got your parents' permission. Right, that's all for this week, guys. We hope that you are staying happy and are doing well. See you next time. Bye!
Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that.